So I shall begin the story. The first story is about the haunted apartment. This happened many years ago, and the user has already put this episode behind him and tried his best to forget it. Sometimes the user will think about it and he will get the shiver, but from what he actually wrote is that each time he thinks about it, he has a cold wind that will blow into his room. So that aside, the story begins. Many years ago, the user was staying alone. Back then, he was using just an iPhone, the earliest version. So when he leave the iPhone there, it will normally auto lock and show the unlock screen. However, there was a time that it was in the afternoon and that the weather was bright and sunny. Everything was as per normal. He went to take a bath, and when he came out from the distance of the kitchen to the living room, he saw the screen of the iPhone automatically switch pages. It had 3 pages of application when the end user walked near it. Suddenly, it went to unlock the screen. The user had not known of what circumstances that will do such multiple actions, and he didn't sense anything at first, but whether the battery was flat or there were bugs in the phone. However, the user just kept as per normal, although with a heightened sense of something looming, and that he was starting to be afraid, starting to think. And to make matters worse, the user was alone and they had the password locked for the phone. After which, many days later, his friend has called him and asked why the user is not at his normal form. But the user said that it was him calling and that he was actually the one asking what's up, which means that here, let me explain. During the time when the phone was locked, it so happens that the user was actually the one that was calling the friend. But to the user, he didn't call his friend. So, surprised at that, the user has checked his call history and he has confirmed that he has never called him. However, the WhatsApp message suddenly came in and he showed his call history, and there was a missed call from his number. So who is calling who? So that started the first problem. Both sides had a missed call. So both maybe one of the phone was wrong. This was the first sign that something evil was lurking nearby. As this story happened in Singapore, they went to the telecommunications provider and they went to a professional shop and they asked them to take a look, like is there anything that had problem with the phone. However, days passed and the problem start to get much worse. According to the user that posted this, a few weeks later, they were messing with some stuff at home cause the user took leave from work and they had a problem with their login at school. The user was studying Thai language at a uni at that time and they're looking for the phone to call the school. He finally found the phone. He thought he finally found a phone because he sensed that maybe that was a ringtone, but he didn't find it. It was a very small apartment and he can only hear the ringing tone because when He heard the direction of the ringtone. All the hairs of his body stood up. In Chinese, um, actually, right now my hair is standing up all over as well. But in the culture, is that it is a dangerous phenomenon. The ringtone had actually came from the storeroom, and the problem is that they had never, nobody has entered the storeroom for some time because the storeroom had been locked for a very long time to prevent the person from going in. Inside, it is only known to store luggage, and the lock is a number lock. So at this moment, um, the the user, um, the poster, he panicked that because he cannot piece together the logic that how could his phone be in a place that has been locked for many months, and he started to panic. So the first thing was to see the house to see if there is other people that is pranking him and or etc. And he straight away did what what normal people do, on all the lights, because there was a corridor there that was quite dark. He went into the storeroom with the back against the wall, and the phone was in the floor in the middle of the storeroom. It was as if the phone was looking at him. It was very freaky of him, and the poster was really, really very scared, and he was not very religious, and he kept chanting the Buddhist chant called Om Mani Padme Hum. He quickly grabbed the phone, went downstairs, called the friend, and took and took any stuff that he had important in the house. Maybe, I mean, from here you can only speculate, wallet, phone, without taking anything else. We continue, which is after that, his friend, there is an exchange module where they go into certain classes and exchange lessons at the university. So the user also have many Thai friends and caught one of them immediately, and he stayed quite near. When the user arrived, he asked if he was okay and looked very pale. Quickly, the user told him what happened and suggested that his friend suggested that they go to temple to pray, and they were at this place called Tarap Chan. So they took a cab straight to Hua Lung Fung, and also we donate. He's saying that they donated a coffin there. Uh, this concept of donating coffin and etc. will be probably explained in other videos, because it is something that I don't have not have much understanding. But in Chinese, it's called Jian Hu Guan. The monk asked the temp at there. The monk asked the temple counter if there is any luan for, probably a master or something, as they need to ask for help very urgently. The user was very glad that a friend was there, as he couldn't speak Thai uh, properly. So when he met the master, he say like, how, like what, wave to him and then paid respect, and the friend translated what has happened. The monk took a deep look at him and said that he was being followed by something that he didn't want. He was being followed by a female spirit, and the spirit is now outside at the gate looking at him and didn't come in. The spirit didn't know him, but was the previous occupant of the apartment that he was in, and died a wrongful death. I know at this point the poster said that his, it says in English, it sounds damn sucky, like the normal ghost movies that they watch for the Southeast Asian. And what the monk told him next was that the ghost wanted him to help her. He don't know whether this was true, but the appointment was to let a senior in the university who graduated. Apparently, this was a solution. Left to rent an apartment in the road, as he found a job there and easier to commute, which means that which means that this apartment was given to the user to be rented, or was recommended by the user to be recommended by a senior in the same university. So the previous user didn't communicate that there was such a problem. But if what the monk said is true, or etc., there might be problems that happened previously that was not known. So from hearing this, the user is saying that he do not know whether to cry or laugh because he thought that such things only happen in those movies, Hollywood movies, ghost movies, or Hong Kong movies. He at the same time didn't speak good Thai language, so he just relied on his friend to translate for everything. And many days later, this same poster posted that um, what happened at um, the temple is not the it's not like those movies that whereby there's 10 monks sitting in a row trying to purge centipede uh, or nails or fish hooks out of the body like any Kung Tao movie, like, or like horror movie. But they took something called the fabat, as the Thai call it, with a bowl of water and a frakring inside to bless the holy water. So they lit a candle. They told the end user to recite after him, and he chanted slowly as he couldn't speak Thai fast. The thing went on for like 10 minutes or so, and then he asked him to pour some sort of water from a small container into a chalice, and then asked him to use the water from chalice to water any tree in the compound. Presumably, presumably this compound will be the temple compound. After that, he told his friend that the girl wants stuff to be done. So here we have the girl, which is obviously the ghost, and the friend didn't ask what. Maybe it's to burn things that the user doesn't want to know. So the user told the master that what can he do, as the first thing is that he went to Thailand to take a break from work and to experience the Thai culture, and he was not ready for all these extra steps. The master of the temple, the monk, was very from what the user or poster said, or very relaxed and laughed, and told him not to worry, as this person, this entity is harmless, and asked if the end user has been harmed so far by her. To which the poster of this said no. But any ordinary person would not continue staying there. So the user asked the master, they call it Luang Po. I think it's a Thai language for uh, or for like a reverend or something. If there's any way that they could get the ghost spirit out, and he said no because the spirit is in the house, and then the monk said some things to to the friend, because the friend speaks fluent Thai. The friend, then the monk gave him an amulet and told the end user to wear it well, which is in this case, I mean, in my next podcast, I'll just keep saying poster instead of user. So sorry about it. The poster wore it immediately, and they just left. The poster obviously after that commented that he didn't dare to return home as his and the friend just said that if the user is so scared to return home to sleep, because obviously most of his belongings are still in the house. Uh, the friend of the user said that he could stay with him and went to his house. So the user went to the friend house and um, stayed over there, but it was very cramped. user said that he didn't know what to do. He was in somebody's house in a foreign place, in a foreign land, um, and he asked whether his friend can accompany him to pack the things from the house, just in case that the user wants to stay in a hotel because maybe the hotel facilities are better and etc. During this taxi ride back, uh, he asked his friend what did the master tell him. Uh, so his friend told him that he needs to be prepared if he want to know the real answer of what the master told him. Remember earlier on, the master whispered to him, and of course, um, the user asked the master to say everything. So he was because he was already very in a very confused and helpless state. So he said that the master said that the spirit will not leave him because there are still some parts of her within the house. So where are the parts and etc. So let me see the forum post and see whether it is being explained. So end user asks, where is all these bone fragments? Because presumably the master said that the bone fragments are still inside. And from here we do know that the user said that they already identified the spirit, which is that of a small female child and not a ghost out for vengeance. Um, when the user heard this, um, he was very restless, tired, and some sort of irritated. I mean, in the English word, they put it damn sian, which is a Hokkien word for Singapore, for being tired and like already about to become be bothered with such things. So user did user to not grow up a place in his homeland with a ghost in the house and could not think of what to do. And it seems that for the monk and his friend, they think that it's very okay for him to go back. As such, he listened to them and he go back anyway. Here he commented there wasn't a plan B and he didn't know what to do. So he went back home alone and the friend left him. And by then he probably gave up already and he was more settled in. After the friend left, he still knows some Thai words, so he spoke a bit in Thai to tell the spirit that he was only here for a while and that his language for Thai is not very good. So not sure if she understand it or not. And apparently nothing happened for a couple of weeks and uh, he thought he made peace with the spirit. So why he didn't ask the monk to send the ghost away is because he is scared. He was there only for few months, and he didn't want the monk to create such a big affair to fight, chase, do other thing, and if we go, uh, then whether if later he cannot win the war against the entity, he go other place, the entity follow him quietly, and the monk cannot help me, then come out another pattern. By here, pattern means like another problem, a complicated problem. The second reason is that he don't know if the monk uh, is effective or not because he don't want to piss the spirit off. Third reason is actually all his reasons is just don't want trouble or anything and hope the spirit doesn't disturb him or make her presence known. So in fact, so this is actually all the after comments from the way I see the forum is being posted. So in fact, after the monk the friend so-called busybody go tell the teacher, and the teacher told that the incident is a story, and he was made to tell the story in class to the rest of the students in Thai language, which was hard because he couldn't speak Thai in the first place, and um, despite the severity of the case and the horrifyingness of the case, he did it anyway with a lot of laughter from the class. Uh, Here he described the class as less than 20 students, mostly Asian, quite a group of Taiwanese and Hongki, uh, uh, which means Hong Kong people from Hong Kong people. just reading out the language. So few few weeks later, he bought some nuts to eat home. So uh, and then he reached home around evening. Then he was very tired, and he threw the plastic bag with the cashew nuts in it, and then went off to take a bath. And he thought that the whole incident is already behind him. So the cashew nut he described as very big packet, inside it as many small packet, which means that he go back to the room, he got a shock again. This big packet, as one suspect, has been torn apart, and all the small little red packet were thrown inside the room. So his first reaction was, because at this point he was used to it already, like all these problems keep happening. Then um, he so called scolded the spirit, say he don't want any trouble, cannot help her, and then end off saying like some Thai phrase that I'm not sure what he means here. He didn't sleep that night. All the room lights remained on, and he sat against the wall, surfed Facebook, scared he fell asleep, become more and more sensitive, hair suddenly stand and stuff. So the next the next thing he did was he went to the Thai friend again. Thai friend brought him to another temple. This time he was saying that the temple is a bit further. I'll just read what he write here. What probably Jim Lee around Bangkok, Yai Pai Shigon area. So here he put, those into Prakong will know that this is the temple of Luang Puto, who made the famous Pita Chung Song, Pita Tukata Yatlek, and Pita Kanokang, etc. So he consulted the monk, gave an amulet, and the monk gave a blessing over him. This time he didn't have. He already went to a temple, so he was thinking, does this thing work? Does this thing help him out? There's no guarantee of his being not disturbed. So consolation thoughts was that he was not harmed, and all these things that the thing did on him, the spirit did on him, the monk thinks is mischievous and playful ghosts and meant no harm. So he said that if you have a kid and want to play stunt on the kid, is it okay? Obviously not right. But well, to the monks it was alright. Maybe it's a common thing. So he did to get himself out of this, but he didn't know how. So further trips to more temple. He went to Chinese temple, many other temple. He went up. So this time he was banned on enlisting the help of so many temples to help him. But somehow he didn't have so much help. Or probably the help was ineffective. He was not as many help. So after doing all this in many months, he started to like the Thai culture, the Thai way of life, and also their beliefs. So when they relate their experience and somehow exchange knowledge on how they viewed such things to him, he began to accept more of the way of thinking. As time passed by, he began to pity and say that maybe the son has been here maybe for 50 to 60 years. That's what he wrote. If the occupant was less sensitive to their room and stayed there for 50 years, she didn't have anyone to talk to or play to with that time. So one day was the Songkran. So Songkran is Thai festival. We went out as a group to sightsee and also chill. So he was chilling around, walking home. Then he still remember there's this push cart selling the chicken stick. So he thought maybe he'll buy one stick for the girl. So anyway, he want to remind the people that read this story that it's a small girl. So another store beside was selling mango sticky rice. So he started to buy quite a number of items, and he said that items was 60 baht. He went home and didn't do any special things. He just left it there, thought it was Songkran, stuff of her. He wanted to celebrate event with the spirit. The night was peaceful, and ever since then he was in a good mood. Then festive season he'll buy stuff. Oh, he said he don't buy Yako and toy car throw sweet around the corner, as he was very clear he was not doing another thing. It's called KMT. Um, which is another concept that maybe I'll explain in further videos. So in fact, he didn't want to communicate with her or anything as long as she didn't want to disturb him. So so fast forward, he finished his course at the university and one more short course at another university. And one day his friend suggested they go back temple and ask the master if the girl was doing the spirit was still following him. So when the master saw him, he said, "Good man." in, in the the quotation. So he asked why. He said the girl look happier now, and uh, he asked where's the girl now. Then instead of waiting at the gate at the temple, the monk said that no, the girl is just beside him now. So the poster has stood up, and the friend also also got a shock and said, "Okay, so what does this girl want, which is the spirit?" And the master said that the girl doesn't want anything. She's just playful. Didn't ask further why she was there or what happened. But poster said he wasn't in the mood to play any haunted games and help her seek redress. So poster said he explained to the master of what he did, and which is to, earlier on the poster said that he bought all those items for like festival, put in one corner, etc. So I believe that's what the poster did. So so now he at this point he already got used to it. So during the course of the few months, whenever something happened to him or weird stuff happening, he'll be scared. But after he watch TV, do assignment, he'll forget about it, and he's able to turn off the lights and sleep. Since he's very very used to it already at this point of time. A couple of more examples is um, sometimes the spirit will help him, like the toothbrush already had the sink with toothpaste, and he will imagine that it's a movie whereby the toothbrush and toothpaste is there. Uh, More commonly, what he said is that he could hear the kids running around and the kids, and he could not know whether it's one kid or two kids now. But another thing is he can feel like he is more sensitive after that. Then there are many times when he falls asleep, but he thinks he have this starting to have this sixth sense gut feel, and he never want there to open his eyes. Sometimes when he feel things are not wrong, he just pretend to fall asleep, and it reminded him of many scenes of the movies he watched before in the horror movies. Um, there was more occurrence during that time, and sometimes it could have occurred frequently. It seems to him from his later post that it's like having an invisible housemate. So ultimately, when he left the place to go to another place in Thailand, he had a few months, do prayers in the apartment, and move out. And that's the end of the story. It seems that this is quite a likely story, uh, or maybe a true experience from the poster or from the poster friends, because it is written out over a course of some time, and it documents the experiences. All right, and that's the end of it. And right, have a good day ahead, and subscribe to my channel, or if you can like or comment or anything, it'll be great, because trying to bring out the old stories to life from forums, uh, in particular Asia forums for the folklore, myths, legends, including those stories. Right, and thank you for everything. Yep, and thank you for listening. Thank you.